Hey everyone, my name is Ben Gromiko. I'm from InterNACHI. That's the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. And this is an InterNACHI webinar you may be watching, attending, or listening to, because we take all of our webinars to our podcast. So if you are into podcasts, listening to podcasts as you drive around doing your home inspections and your work, get onto your podcast platform and search for InterNACHI Home Inspector Podcast. We're there too. This is a free live interactive webinar on InterNACHI webinar system, and that's at nachi.org/webinars, nachi.org/webinars. And there you'll find all of our upcoming webinars. Register for any webinar you want. Even if you can't make it, I would say register for one so that you get a link to the video recording so you can watch it later. Today, we have a special guest, my friend, Elaine Williamson from Ladder Safe USA. She's going to talk about a device that will help us home inspectors and contractors reduce the risk that's involved in using a ladder. Now, as a home inspector, I'm not required by the standards of practice or any standards for home inspections to use a ladder, but I tend to, right? And frankly, personally, I hate using ladders, because I know that it's unsafe. I mean, I'm a large man and I really shouldn't be lifting myself off the earth, because a fall from 2 feet is going to be an injury for sure. And a fall from 10 feet could be fatal. So I'm all interested in being safe, and you have to balance in your work. You have to balance value that you're providing to your clients with the risk that you are taking. So you want to help reduce that risk by this device. I've got one. I'm going to post some videos on how to use it, and I'm going to have some fun with the device. So let's introduce and talk to Elaine Williamson from Ladder Safe USA. And if you have any questions, if you're attending the live webinar, feel free to ask questions. There's a Q&A button somewhere on your side of your computer screen or your device, and there's a chat button, so feel free to ask questions as well. And Elaine's going to also talk about how to get a discount on this safety device. Elaine, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to help us learn more about this device you're going to share with us.
Good morning, Ben. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You got it.
Super important, in my opinion.
And if people wanted to ask you questions after your presentation, your email is safety@laddersafeusa.com. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thanks, Elaine. What are we going to talk about?
Well, we're going to talk about ladder safety. Number one, how 10 seconds could potentially save your life and prevent injuries, probably career ending. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started.
Let's go for it.
All right. So welcome, everyone. My name is Elaine Williamson, and my company is Ladder Safe USA. I have been in residential construction for well over 30 years now. And over that 30-year span, I have watched our contractors, subcontractors, friends, relatives climb ladders, climb down from ladders, fall off ladders, the whole 9 yards. So when I was introduced to this particular tool, I thought that every person that uses an extension ladder in a residential application, especially when the ground is not in your favor or the weather is not in your favor, or you're carrying something to or from the roof, this is something that I believe everyone should have. So thank you for being here, and let's get started. So our mission is to equip you with a simple, effective, potentially life-saving tool that can help keep you safe and secure every day on every climb. So this is probably the last place you want to find yourself when you're using an extension ladder. The one on the right is kind of comical because we all know who that is. That don't want to be a Clark. You don't want to be Clark. Potential homeowner fails as well. On the other side, this could be a homeowner, this could be a contractor, this could be your neighbors helping you paint. Inevitably, if someone isn't versed on using an extension ladder, or they don't place it correctly, you literally can find yourself in one of these three. You're hanging on for dear life, you're falling, or you're just about to smash. So those aren't ifs or whens, those are actual facts. So here's the reality of it is a ladder slip or fall can happen in seconds, and it can happen to anyone, anywhere. Now we're going to watch this real quick. Just watch the firemen going up to the garage. I know you can already determine pretty much which is going to happen, but it's this fast. So that is what happens when a professional has a slip. If you take a fall and you're on a job site, chances are you are not going to have 25 other firefighters or 25 people, paramedics, EMT experience around. It's probably just going to be you, maybe the homeowner or a neighbor, and your telephone. So if there was a way to reduce or almost eliminate that potential, wouldn't you want access to that? So in the USA, this is crazy. 300 plus ladder related deaths per year, 130,000 ER visits due to a ladder fall, and 2,000 ladder related injuries per day. And that's of course combined. That could be extension ladders, step ladders, step stools, whatever, but still a fall is a fall. And if you could take 10 seconds to avoid being the next statistic, you could. Mm-hmm. So our ladder safety system is basically a handheld tool that clips on between your extension ladder and a gutter in less than 5 seconds. If you notice over here, there's this little harbinger here, and that actually attaches to your tool belt, to your safety harness. You can carry it up, it doesn't matter. So what happens is as soon as you get up there, you grab it, unhook it, and you attach it right to the gutter and to the ladder. Now you can use 2 for optimal safety, or you can use 1. It doesn't matter. Either one of them is going to make sure that you stay safe and sound. So if you take a look here, basically it's a hand grip. That grip goes over the gutter. You squeeze it until it's tight. You have a secondary latch right here that just goes onto the extension ladder, and that can extend up to 4 inches. So if you have a super wide ladder, if you have something that's wider than a normal ladder, that will clamp, it will secure, and now you're not only secure from going backwards, but you're also secure from going sideways. So basically that becomes your stabilizer for that unit. So once it's been clamped in, you can climb up the ladder, down the ladder, carry objects up to the ladder. If you're a chimney sweep, if you're a roofing inspector, an insurance inspector, coming up the ladder is great, but the other part is coming down. I don't go on ladders personally because I know I'll fall, even I'm clumsy. So this I actually had to use and go up onto my personal house roof, and I put it on there. And can I tell you, when I was coming off the roof, I felt safe. Granted, it was only 9 feet off the ground, but me and 9 feet, it's like Ben, 2 will put you into the ER. So basically, this tool can stop you from being hurt. Let's go to the next one. So the beauty of this is it meets the ANSI standards, the American standards for a ladder accessory. So this is basically also a tool that is tax deductible. See your tax accountant for any advice on that. Not a tax accountant, but it is a tool. It's meant to be used for safety in the workplace. So go from there with that. If you have crews, having at least one of these per crew or per ladder on that crew can also take that workplace safety to a higher level. It just shows that you really care. And I think there are some insurance companies that have rate reductions for you if you have job site safety. This actually qualifies. So these grips are used by pretty much anybody that uses an extension ladder, where which is interesting, the Swiss firefighters actually use this tool on every run that they go on a residential call. Contractors, roofers, solar installers, homeowners. If you know anybody that does their Christmas lights, don't be a Griswold. Make sure that you let them know that this tool can also help keep them safe. So here's a couple applications again where you can see the system on a super high extension ladder to a second story. 2 over here will actually stabilize that ladder. You can go up and down. It will not go sideways. It will not go back and forth. You can carry shingles, roof vents, chimney things, anything you need to go up and down that ladder, you can. Again, HVAC, if you're doing a large system on a roof that has a gutter. Also here, again, chimney sweeps. And again, one-handed, super simple, fast, accurate. Here's a top view. So this part over here, this attaches to your extension ladder on either side. So it doesn't matter which side, if you're left-handed or right-handed. You just pull it over, it locks, and then it unlocks when you pull, just like any clamp that you're used to using. So that is the lockjaw. So again, it's super simple. There's not a whole lot to talk about. It's as efficient as it is effective. And thank you so much. I would love to take any questions that you guys would have.
Yeah, there are a couple of questions. One I have is I see the pictures. There's a lot of aluminum extension ladders. What about fiberglass ladders?
They work as well on fiberglass. It'll do any kind of extension ladder as well, because that metal side-to-side clamp will clamp and then secure whatever substrate is up there. It doesn't matter if it's even a wood ladder. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So it's not going into the channel on the side of that
nope.
ladder.
No,
right.
Nope, over the top. You have to remember, it's going from front to back and side to side.
Yep. So Dustin says, here, just take my money. I can't do another inspection without this thing. So I think Dustin is going to buy one.
Like I said, 2 for the heavy duty contractors, at least 1 if you're just doing a 5-10 minute jaunt up and down.
Yeah. But
2 if you're definitely a peener or anything that has to do with repetitive climbs.
And also weight. If you're a home inspector who's carrying up a sewer scope with 300 feet of line, that's heavy. So you want to use this device as well. Ian asks, does this attach to roofs with no gutters?
It does have to have a gutter.
Yeah.
Or some sort of clamping area.
Yep.
Because that clamping area is probably about 3.5 to 4 inches.
Yeah. So it's like a really strong hand that's
Correct.
Attaching to something,
Correct.
Like yeah. So it has to have that gutter. Mark asks, how does this work with leaf filter or a gutter guard or other debris blocking gutter systems? He says we shouldn't be removing these things on a home inspection.
Right. So anything that's blocking that lip will either have to be temporarily just lifted up and moved. And some of the gutter systems have that functionality.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's see. Doug says, it's a good point. Doug makes a point. Do you have to still initially climb the ladder to lock the gutter?
Yes.
Yep. So
So of course, you always want to make sure that your feet are stable, solid, balanced. And then again, just climb up in it literally 5 seconds.
And InterNACHI has a safety course. Within the safety course, there's a large chapter about ladder safety. And that safety course through InterNACHI is free and online to everyone. You don't have to have a credit card. We don't ask your credit card. It's totally free and open to everyone. We thought a safety course would be really important for everyone to take. Stacy says, good day. What if the house does not have gutters? We already answered that. You got to have, this is designed as a gutter clamp. It clamps onto that gutter nice and safe. And so if you don't have a gutter, well, there are other options. You don't use a ladder unless you have to get up, and then you're thinking about maybe from the rake side or some other way. Nico asked, does it combine with rope accessing equipment, like with ropes or safety harnesses or other personal protection equipment or anything like that?
It is in addition to that. So your ropes and safety harnesses are meant to keep you from falling off of the roof. So this particular device is to, again, stabilize that access point from the ground to the roof.
And thank you, Stacy. I see your comment there. No problem, Nico. I see your comment. Dustin shares something personal. He broke his T9 vertebrae in his back on December 15th, had surgery. He was taking the last step from the ladder to the roof when the ladder slid backwards. It was on a Trek Dex. A lot of money, $90,000 in surgery and doctor bills. He says, this would have saved me so much trouble. And I didn't know something like this even existed. So this is the really important part, Elaine, that you're doing. You're taking time out to help us in this industry, home inspector industry, really reduce our risk, because there's a lot of home inspectors who use this equipment, this ladder, and a lot of us just don't have the experience with using devices like this, and we expose ourselves. So we really appreciate this, Elaine.
Well, I'll have to tell you, Ben, the reason we actually found them is because my husband goes up and down. He has a roofing company, and he's not a spry chicken anymore. And he even made the comment that he used to be able to climb ladders, no problem. He was a little monkey on the roof. It was fine. But lately he just was they were just it just wasn't the same. And so that's how we found them. And as soon as I saw them, I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody needs to know about these. So this is why we're doing it.
And it just takes a few seconds. There are some other systems that I know of that are really kind of cumbersome and a bit clumsy. And this seems to be just in a few seconds, you're clamped on.
Oh yeah, well, we have all the other ones. We've got the big extension ends. We've got the side. We've got all of that. But this was too simple and too easy.
Doug says, are they sold in pairs or individually?
Yes, you can buy them singly or you could buy them in pairs.
So Peter asks, will this prevent the ladder from sliding away like it did for the firemen? In addition to preventing it from going sideways, does it help it prevent a slide?
Yes, if you use two, so one on each side. So, okay, see this ladder up here in the left-hand corner?
Yes.
And see this ladder over here where this gentleman's climbing?
Yep.
When both of these units are clamped on either side, that ladder cannot go left, it cannot go right, and it cannot go backwards. And it is, if it's stable at the front and you have good footing stable on the bottom, that's not going anywhere.
Yep. And you'll see when you clamp it on, give it a try to move the ladder yourself. It should be nice and stable.
Like I said, you have to make sure your base is solid. Make sure that your base foundation. Now the firemen, they were on it was snowing and icy, but they had placed that ladder on a cleared area of the concrete. So there was, even though the elements were bad, they stabilized that foot. And they've probably done that 100,000 times, but this one time, both of those firefighters went to the hospital.
That was eye-opening. Nicole asks, how heavy is the device? How heavy?
It's almost 1 pound and some ounces.
It's light.
It's super light. It's made of nylon. Super, 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 super light.
Stacy points out at the bottom right corner of your picture there on your slide, the ladder is in 3 feet above the roof line at the gutter there. Good
Yep.
catch.
Probably not a good idea, however.
Yep. Elaine.
Having said that, even with someone that doesn't know proper ladder protocol, at least was smart enough to make sure that their ladder was going to be safe as much as they could.
Elaine, I want to thank you again for taking the time out to show us this device to help us protect ourselves and reduce the risk of ladder falls. Again, yeah, that's perfect. I was going to ask you. So it's Ladder Safe USA in Colorado. The number is 720-815-8300. That's 720-815-8300. And the URL, the web address is laddersafeusa.com, laddersafeusa.com. And to get Elaine, it's safety@laddersafeusa.com, safety@laddersafeusa.com. Really appreciate it, Elaine. Thank you so much. Do you have any last words?
No, thank you so much, Ben. I know it's snowing there in Boulder, it's snowing here in Parker. Yep. So thank you so much again for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe and healthy. And thanks, Elaine. Really appreciate it.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.